As a film nerd, I'm frequently asked what I think the greatest film of all time is. And while there's hundreds of films that are strong contenders for my top spot, I've been quite steadfast on which film I think is the best ever made. And that is The Shawshank Redemption. While I'm sure that's not a hot take by any means, I do strongly believe that it is the greatest film to ever grace our TV screens, primarily due to its incredible display of storytelling. There's places that aren't made out of stone, that there's something inside that they can't get to, that they can't touch. It's yours. Hope. While I could talk for hours in great detail about the complexity of the Shawshank Redemption's narrative, it is really all built upon the duality of hope. The scene I just paraphrased is Andy's ideology, our main protagonist, as he believes that hope is a good thing, and his hope is what keeps him going. You see, The Shawshank Redemption is a story about a man convicted for a crime he didn't commit, and what better place for this ideology to be put to the test than prison? Prison is typically seen as where hope goes to die, and in the very same scene that I paraphrased, Red, our main supporting character, tells Andy hope is a dangerous thing. Hope can drive a man insane. It's got no use on the inside. Is hope indeed a dangerous thing, or is hope the best of things? For Andy, being an innocent man surrounded by convicts, a conniving prison warden, and an environment built to reform individuals, it is astounding that he can still spout his feelings on hope so assuredly. And Andy's continued hope seems to reap exactly what he's been waiting for when Tommy is brought to Shawshank, an inmate who can testify that Andy Dufresne didn't actually kill his wife, and that one of his former cellmates admitted to the crime. Andy, after hearing this information, can see his future on the outside right in front of him. He's so close to being a free man. And then the warden strikes. See, the warden has grown to enjoy the free labor and shady tax work that Andy's been doing for him, so he ensures that Tommy can't speak on Andy's behalf. In a tragic scene, the warden takes Tommy outside, and when Tommy gives a wrong answer to whether or not he testify on Andy's behalf, the warden has him shot on the spot. The death of Tommy in this moment really feels like a fatality for not only the character of Tommy, but for Andy's dream of being a free man once again. It seems that his ideal of hope has failed him. He tried to help Brooks, and Brooks ended up dead. He tried to help Tommy, and he died as well. Upon first viewing, it honestly felt like Andy could be next, and the moral of the story might end up being a cautionary tale regarding the false promise of hope. This feels like a possibility because following Tommy's death, Andy starts to get really cryptic, talking to Red about Mexico, hayfields in Buxton, and asking Red for a favor. This entire conversation comes off really dark and shrouded in mystery because of one key aspect to the story. Whose perspective is the story told from? When you stop to think about it, the narrator of the story is actually Red, and we never actually get the story told from Andy's perspective once he's in prison. On face value, this might sound like a missed opportunity, but it's actually a brilliant decision. Not being able to get inside Andy's head gives the film suspense. On the night of Andy's escape from prison, you have no idea what's going to happen. Was Andy going to fall from his own lofty ideals and suffer the same fate as Mr. Brooks? Or was he going to surprise everyone yet again and grasp his ideal of hope out of the jaws of misery? Not knowing Andy's escape plan makes its revelation and a second viewing of the film so rewarding. There's all these little visual clues of Andy's plan scattered throughout the film, and entire scenes take new meaning once you know his plan. Such as when the warden almost takes Andy's Bible, which unbeknownst to the audience and the warden, has Andy's little rock hammer inside of it. The warden even tells Andy, "You'll be needing this," as he hands the Bible back to him. Getting the story from Red's perspective forces us to process Andy's story from a third-person point of view, which adds so much weight and importance to his story because we don't just receive Andy's ideology, but we see how it changes Red fundamentally. When Red gets out on parole, if it weren't for Andy, he very easily could have fallen down the same path as Brooks. But instead, we see that Andy gave him something to live for, and slowly over the course of time was able to instill hope back into Red. It really came down to a simple choice in the end. Get busy living or get busy dying. Andy's story is also just poetic when you think about it. On the outside, he was an innocent man, and he commits his only crime while in prison, the very construct designed to stop criminal activity. But despite being wronged for so many years, Andy avoids becoming cynical, holds on to hope, and even helps a few people in the process. All in all, I think the way in which the story is told and the thematic battle between Andy and Red regarding the concept of hope makes The Shawshank Redemption an excellent film, and in my opinion, the very best that this beautiful medium has to offer. Because at the end of the day, hope is a good thing, maybe the best of things, and no good thing ever dies. Thank you for watching this breakdown of Andy's story. If you enjoyed it and are interested in further explorations of screen stories, please feel free to drop a like and subscribe.